Thank you for joining me on my learning journey. Today I'm going to be sharing my learnings on some general tournament rules. And so these are rules that are not about any particular game, but just about participating in the tournament in general. And it is important that you know all of these rules that apply to all of the games before you participate. So the first one is, there's of course the flag cards. So those are those little purple cards, and they need to be exchanged. Once you finish your turn, you pass the flag card to the next player. And it is important to have that, to be passing the flag card, because it's almost like so that there's a formal recognition that it's your turn or that it's not your turn, to prevent things like inappropriate challenges, like challenges at the wrong time, and playing when it's not your turn and things like that. So passing the flag card is one rule. And the next one, the next few actually cover challenges. And first of all, you do have to announce it. So at the right time, depending on whatever that is, most of the time it's when you have the flag card, but there are exceptions to that, and those are game specific. You have to announce, I challenge, and then state what you're challenging and things like that. Now, if you make any combination of incorrect and inappropriate challenges, any combination of those, if you get 3 of those, then it's an automatic loss of the game. And so the game monitor will be the one marking these down. And when you get a combination of incorrect and inappropriate challenges, and you get 3 of those, then you lose the game. Also, you cannot challenge the rules that, they decide what player goes first, game setup, and things like that. Those are not challengeable. And say you're challenging something and the move that they made violates several rules. Each of those, it's not all one grouped together challenges. They're all separate. One more thing about challenges that I feel like is so great about Math Pentathlon is they give you the right to ask for a second and third opinion. And I feel like that's great, and it teaches you how to stand up for yourself when you don't agree with something. So if you do not agree with the monitor's ruling because you believe that, say they said that it was incorrect, but you believe that your challenge is correct, or you got challenged and they said it was correct, but you do not agree, you can ask for a second or third opinion. And at the competition, they'll have like a yellow opinion card, I believe it's called. It's like a yellow card, and then you raise it up, and then they'll have like game leaders, and they'll come over, and if you don't agree with them, then they'll have another level, and I think it stops at third opinion for sure, but you do get the chance to ask for a second or third opinion immediately after the ruling is given. You can also challenge a declared win. And so this is where you're challenging the intent of the win. And I mentioned this in my Queens and Guards video. When you're challenging the way they won. So, for example, if they were playing, let's just say they were playing juggle, and that's the game with all the shapes, and you're trying to fill up your game board without any of the colors touching, then challenging the intent of their win would be if they just made one row and they said, I win, I made a row. You could challenge that for the intent of the win. And for that, you would, if you were correct in that, the challenger would immediately get the win. Now, if it was incorrect, then the person who was challenged would get the win. And there's also the 1 minute per turn, 45 minutes per game. I wanted to say per round, but then I was thinking for Fabadiffy, there are 3 different rounds. The entire game can only take 45 minutes. That's how much time is reserved for the event at the tournament. And for some games, it may take that whole time. Some games, it may not. Now, the 1 minute per turn rule. This is a not challengeable rule. You just get a reminder, and then, of course, if you like don't agree to, like when they ask you, please make your move, it's been over a minute, and you don't do it, then you lose that turn. So you lose a turn. If you do not stop after reminded to stop. If you do not play after reminded to play. And then if this keeps happening over and over, like 3 times, then you automatically lose. And of course, there's also the checking and signing the scorecards after the game. You sign a sheet to acknowledge that you agree with the ruling, whether the game monitor declared the win to you or your opponent, or they declared a tie. That's less of a game rule and more of an overarching tournament rule, but I still wanted to just bring that up here. So that's it for this learning. Thank you for joining me. I'll really appreciate it if you leave your comments, feedback, and further suggestions for additional learnings below. I'll see you in the next video.